John Dalton, do you mind answering a few questions for us?
Oh, hello there. You startled me. Didn't even see you come in. It would be my pleasure.
Where were you born?
I was born in 1766 in Cumberland, England.
Is it true that you joined the Manchester Literary and Philosophical Society?
Yes, in 1799. That was 1 year before 1800, if you do your math correctly.
What was your first book called?
Meteorological Observations.
Is it true that your research on color blindness is being nicknamed Daltonism?
Why, yes it is.
Would you mind describing your atomic theory?
I have a better idea. Since you are all boring, how about I ask you questions?
Okay, well, what do you have in mind?
I'm going to ask you a question, and you are going to answer it. It's quite simple, really. Carolyn, true or false? All matter is composed of atoms.
True.
Ray, true or false? Atoms can be made or destroyed.
False. Atoms cannot be made or destroyed.
Lillian, are all atoms of the same element identical?
Yes, they are identical.
Do different atoms have different types of atoms?
Yes, they have different types.
When do chemical reactions occur?
When atoms are rearranged.
Lastly, are compounds formed from atoms of the constituent elements?
Yes, they are.
Very impressive, ladies.
What experiments did you complete while developing your atomic theory?
I experimented with different mixtures of gases. I tried to determine what effect the properties of the individual gases had on the properties of the mixture as a whole. While trying to explain these results, I developed a hypothesis that the sizes of the particles making up the different gases must be different.
After all your experimenting, how did you conclude with the atomic weight, chemical combinations, and the gas law?
That's a great question. It turns out my atomic mass theory wasn't completely accurate. I had one very important mistake. I thought that two simple element compounds were binary. This threw off the atomic weight, which made oxygen 7 instead of 8. I studied Newton's work for many months and built my atomic theory off of his. Atoms are concluded as indestructible and unchangeable because of centuries of experimental evidence. My postulate to find definite proportions was discovered by assuming compounds contain characteristic atom-to-atom ratios. Very impressive. This is so much work. Is there any more you had to do to conclude with your theory? Yes. Even though critics were impressed with my work, I had to persuade them to believe that my atomic theory was worthy of further investigation. My meteorology studies helped me conclude that evaporated water exists in air as an independent gas. This helped me come to the conclusion that the size of the particles making up gas must be different. All this research and experimenting put together helped me conclude my atomic theory. Would you mind drawing the atom for us? Not at all. Here is my atom. It's really just a ball. There's nothing in it. It's just a plain circle. What do you think you will best be remembered for in future generations? Probably my work with the atomic theory and color blindness research. I mean, it's already named after me. Is it true that you and your brother were born with color blindness? Yes. This made me want to research it in the first place. Well, thank you for answering our questions. We really appreciate it. Anytime. Goodbye.